Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks for tuning in. Today, we're really excited to have our first Dualtron high-performance electric scooter on the channel. This is the 60-volt Dualtron Forever. And guys, this thing goes for just $12.99 on ecorecoscooter.com. We'll put the link in the description below. But for a 60-volt scooter, that price is unheard of, especially for the quality scooter that this is. Most of them go for $1,500 plus, and they aren't the quality that Dualtron puts out. So an unbeatable value for the price, especially at 60 volts. And what we're going to do is we're going to go over the specs and the features of this scooter and what makes it so special. And we'll take it out for our first ride and give you our first riding impressions. All right, so the scooter only comes in one color, and that is black. And it weighs just 54 pounds. So super lightweight. This thing is really easy to carry, fold up, really compact to put in your car or your truck. But this can also act as a commuter scooter as well. Especially being 60 volts, it's going to be very efficient. The max rider weight this thing will support is 265 pounds. And this thing can easily climb 20-degree angles. So we have a bunch of hills near us, and we'll put this thing to the test. But at 60 volts, I don't think this thing will have any issue at all climbing our hills. And this is powered by dual 450 watt motors. So guys, this thing is packing quite a bit of power. We love these dual motor scooters. It's just really worth getting something with two motors. Now you do get a 10 by 2.5 inch tire. These do have inner tubes. And also you get these really nice fenders. And these are nice and tough. I don't think these are going to rattle or anything, but they are plastic. So just keep that in mind. Now you do get hydraulic disc brakes on the Dualtron Forever. Now for added safety and braking, this thing does come with ABS and EBS, so electric braking, and it is fantastic. Now as far as the battery that's inside the scooter, it features a 60 volt, 18.2 amp hour battery, and that is housed right in here. It is not removable, so keep that in mind. Now, Dualtron does rate this to get up to 31 miles of range on a single charge. And guys, obviously that's going to be with the lowest power level, but pretty impressive for a high performance, light and compact scooter. Now, you do have the ability to use two chargers on this. It does come with one, which takes about 9 hours to charge from 0 to 100. And obviously you would half that with two chargers. But really nice to see that feature baked into the scooter. Also, what I'd love to see, I'm not sure if you can see that, but it does come with an on-off switch for the battery. So to turn it on, you need to turn that switch on, and to turn it off, you need to turn it off. And it does come in a nice weatherproof sealed case here. I'm not sure if you can make that out. Now, the ride is super comfortable on this. It has both front and rear adjustable suspension to kind of customize your ride and make sure you're comfortable on any type of terrain. Now, as far as the lighting goes on the scooter, you get a very bright front headlight, as well as front and rear turn signals. These are super bright. You can see those in the front and also in the rear. So very nice to make sure you're seen on the road. And you have a super bright tail and brake light. I'll show you what happens when you squeeze the brake. So it does get brighter. And these lights will flash too when you brake if the signals aren't on. We also touched on the fact that this thing is fully foldable, including the handlebars. These little clamps here will just come undone, and you can actually fold the handlebars. We'll show you this a bit later while we're out riding. And you also have a similar clamp here that you will just take and unfold this, and the handlebars will come down, and you can lock it back here into this little hook so you can pick up and carry. And at 54 pounds, this thing is super lightweight compared to other high-performance scooters. All right, so we'll go over the handlebars here and some of your controls. On the left-hand side, you do have your brake lever along with your grip, and these grips are really nice. Love how grippy they are. A lot of grips are like plasticky and stuff, but these are really nice. Feel really good in the hand. Your hands will definitely not be slipping off these. You do have your controls for your lights, your headlight, your turn signals. You did see how bright those were. And also your horn. You do have your folding clamps for your handlebars. Like we said, we'll show you that later in the video. Here is your nice, bright, and colorful display. It does come with a companion app, which you can see your motor temperature, your controller temperature, things like that. You can see you have your battery percentage, your speed right in the middle there. You also have a power bar here, which is really cool. And you also have buttons on the bottom of the display here. And you can click through some of the options so you can see your tripometer, your range, your odometer, and back to your battery percentage. But really cool that it gives you estimated range here. Now, as far as your power level goes, you can cycle it through this left button here. So there is 2, 3, and then back to 1. And this also does function as your power button. So if you hold that down, the scooter will power off. Power back on there. So if you hold down the middle button, you do get a little E that pops up here. I would assume that's eco mode. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section, but some really nice features on the scooter. Display is super simple, but really beautiful, really colorful. And like we mentioned, you can download the Mini Motors app and pair the scooter to it, and you can see a lot of useful information and also change some settings in there as well. You also get your right brake lever along with your right grip. Now, like we said, if you squeeze the brake lever, if your signals are not on, those lights will blink. So really cool to make sure that people know that you're braking. All right, guys, so there are the specs and features of the Dualtron Forever electric high-performance scooter. All right, so let's get this thing out on the road and see how it performs. All right, guys, we're on the Dualtron Forever 60-volt high-performance electric scooter. You guys, right off the bat, this thing is super quick, super torquey off the line. We're gonna do a brake test at our storm drain here. Oh, wow. Okay. All right, so we had to let go a couple times there because we were sliding, and the braking is absolutely insane on this thing. It has the EBS and the ABS, and you actually hear that working. So really impressive. One thing that is really nice about the scooter is the fact that it's really compact. So really easy to get in and out of places. We're going to do a top speed test here. All right, we get 36 miles per hour. We're actually seeing some sag there with the voltage, and we can actually switch to the voltage here. You can see that while we're riding too. All right, so one thing to note about the scooter is it is really powerful, and they actually built a safe mode in, which you can actually take off if you want in the app. What you want to do is you want to hold down the brakes, and that safe indicator will go off, and then we can get back on and ride. But really nice that they built that in to the scooter. Now the scooter is really compact, like you said, but they don't make it too small. We can fit really nicely on the scooter still. You don't have to worry about the scooter just being overbearingly large. Definitely loving the braking on here. Really easy to maneuver the scooter, and I think the smaller size makes a difference with that. Really nice controls. The only thing that I'm noticing, oh, crazy. The only thing that I'm really noticing about the scooter is it has a lot of wobble in the stem. I don't think it's anything to be worried about. When you first get on it, you feel that. You're kind of like, what is that? Well, maybe that's something they can work on improving and kind of tighten that up a little bit. And we absolutely love these dual motor scooters. They really do make a huge difference as far as the performance goes. Now, there are different modes. We're in climbing mode right now, which is the most power. There is like a daily mode and also eco mode, but obviously we're gonna pump up the power to the max on these scooters to test them out. But this thing is really nice. And don't forget, like with the 60 volt, it makes a huge difference as far as like efficiency and also top speed too. So this thing can get up to 40 plus miles per hour, you know, with a lighter rider. We are 260 pounds, so I'm sure that makes a difference being a heavier rider. This can support up to 265, so we're kind of maxing this thing out, but this thing is awesome. The suspension feels really nice, and like we said, it is adjustable. You can adjust it to your liking depending on your size. Very easy to control. I think that smaller form factor makes a huge difference as far as tossing this thing around, especially at 54 pounds. We don't have to worry about this thing not fitting in our car or in our truck. Yeah, and all the bumps and stuff, this thing is taking like a champ. All right, so we're going to do a hill climb test with the Dualtron Forever high performance electric scooter, and we're in max power mode and climb mode, and we'll see how this thing does. I don't think we'll have any issues. This thing should eat up this hill with no problem. All right, so we're going about 18 miles per hour on this pretty good sized hill. One of the best performing scooters we've seen on this hill. We dropped down to 16 miles per hour, but up to 18. Phenomenal job. So no issues with hills on this thing. But guys, fantastic deal for a scooter that's 60 volt, only $12.99 on ecoricoscooter.com. We'll put the link in the description. We see 60 volt scooters starting at $1,500 and not at the Dualtron quality that this thing is. So fantastic deal at $12.99. All right, so we'll show you how to fold the scooter. So if you want to fold it into a nice compact package for storage or traveling, what you want to do is you can actually fold the handlebars by releasing this clamp, pushing it towards the center here, and then the handlebar will fold down like this. Do the same on this side. It does lock in really good, so you don't have to worry about this folding while you're out riding. So there are the handlebars folded, and then to fold down the rest, release this clamp, pull this up here. It's nice that it's really tight. So that will come all the way up and clip it in there. And at 54 pounds for the performance that this scooter has, super lightweight, super compact. Look at that, guys. Takes up basically no space, just the width of the scooter. Fold it back up. To unfold it, just do it in reverse. Push this down to lock it in. Tighten that up. Clamp that in. Pull the handlebars up like so. And guys, make sure to remember to turn that off, but it is in safe mode, so it's really nice. After 10 seconds, it'll actually go into safe mode, so you cannot pull the throttle. Clamp that down. Same thing on this side. A really nice folding system. Just an all-around fantastic scooter, especially a 60 volt high performance scooter that goes over 40 miles per hour. Now, if you guys have any questions about the Dualtron Forever high performance 60 volt scooter, please let us know in the comment section below. We get back to everybody. And guys, as always, thank you for watching. We appreciate you. Peace out.